Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, fantastic. This is kind of interesting. Oh, first of all, I want to say we've got Tuesdays with Charlie coming up. Excited to talk to your daddy. It's always fun. And then this over here. A new Russian agency reports that a 104-year-old Russian woman has grown 3 new teeth, making her the oldest person to ever grow new teeth.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't usually think of that from somebody that's, maybe 4, but not 104. So it's kind of bizarre. And a scuba diver who drifted for 5 hours after a boat crew left him at sea is suing the dive company for $4 million.
That I would believe is justified.
They say that the Ocean Adventures Dive Company left him off Santa Catalina Island, and then they lied about his location, which delayed the rescue for 5 hours.
Wow.
Because they were trying to cover their own tracks. They're like,
He got off the boat.
He's right over there somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, $4 million. That's kind of crazy. All right, we got some special things happening today. We'll tell you all about that in a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Today is Tuesday, July the 12th. It is Chick-fil-A's Cow Appreciation Day today. You're supposed to appreciate cows and eat chicken.
Okay.
It is Night of Nights night tonight.
Night of Nights night.
Night of Nights night.
All right.
Yeah. It is also Simplicity Day.
Okay.
So there you go. Of all of those, guess which one I'm going to celebrate?
Night of Nights night.
No. I don't even know what that means. But I do think I'll be having some chicken today, and I bet you can guess where I'm going to get it from. All right. Couple of special things going on right there on this Tuesday, the 12th day of July.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. A newspaper predicted the future. Kind of. Actually, they made a mistake, but they also kind of predicted the future. I think I actually read this. This might actually be like a year or two old. But it sounds like a lottery player's dream to pick up a newspaper and get the numbers the day before the drawing. Well, that's kind of what happened. The Columbian newspaper published the Pick 4 Oregon lottery numbers as 6855. Several hours before they were to be drawn, and sure enough, that night, guess which numbers were picked?
No way.
6855. Upon hearing the news, the Oregon Lottery frantically looked for a leak in their office. They checked computers for possible break-ins. They looked for every conceivable way this could have possibly happened, and they could not find a thing.
Wow,
So,
the odds of that have got to be astronomical.
you might ask? Go ahead and ask.
What happened?
I'm glad you asked on your own free will, and I didn't have to poke you and prod you. The Columbians' computers crashed. They had to scramble to recreate a news page that had been lost. It happened to be the page with the lottery results. Well,
That's
a copy
insane.
editor was assigned to go back and get the Oregon lottery numbers off the news wires. He spotted Pick 4 numbers. Problem was, he grabbed the Virginia Pick 4 numbers, not the ones from Oregon. Get this. The Virginia Pick 4 numbers were the exact same numbers that Oregon was about to draw that very same day.
That's insane.
A lottery official says people normally have a 1 in 10 million chance of picking the correct 4 numbers, but they say the calculating the odds of a newspaper accidentally printing Virginia's numbers as the Oregon numbers and those being correct would blow their computer's mind. So they don't know what the odds are.
Speaking of that, did you ever check our lottery tickets?
I have it in my pocket. No, I did not.
You probably should do
And
that.
you know what? I also have not logged into our...
We may be millionaires.
Yeah,
we
Radio
may not
Lotto
be
Pool
here
thing.
tomorrow.
So, no, we'll be here no matter what. Yeah.
Okay, I may not be here tomorrow.
You'll be here no matter what. I'll have to check. Yeah, I have to check those, and I have to log into radiolottopool.com.
Yeah,
and check
see how we
too.
did there, too.
I have to check and see. We could. Yeah, we could.
We could?
We could be 100 airs, too, or whatever, if you only went just a little bit. But, hey, a winner's a winner is a winner. You know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. Do you remember on the 4th of July, we were talking about the fact that we did not have any stories about alcohol and fireworks mixed?
I do, yes.
Well, now I have one. That day I said, hey, just wait a week, we'll have some.
They'll be out, yeah.
We've had some trickle in, and here's one that I think is just ridiculous, but it's got to be shared. This happened in Kansas City on Independence Day. There was a family shooting off fireworks in their neighborhood and drinking heavily. I want to just pause
Not
for
a good
moment.
idea.
Yeah, that's a bad plan. Don't do that. Those two things don't mix. Now, we'll move back on. It is illegal to shoot fireworks in this neighborhood, so the neighbors called the police. As the police showed up, one of the drunk individuals thought, oh, I got the perfect hiding spot for these things. I'm going to put him in the oven. Unfortunately, he was plastered, completely forgot that he put fireworks in the oven. As he was walking away, he's like, speaking of the oven, I'm kind of hungry. I'm going to go over and warm up the oven and cook some food.
Oh, my gosh.
So, at about 3 a.m., the kitchen was blown to smithereens. The walls were blown out. The oven flew through one of the walls. Flying glass caused slight injuries, but otherwise nobody was hurt. Wow. That is a bad idea.
They're very fortunate nobody was hurt. That's awful.
Fortunate. All right.
What was that, very? Very fortunate?
Very fortunate.
Very fortunate.
I don't know what I was talking about there. Maybe that was from the drunk individual standpoint. All I know is, kids, this is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Getting a tattoo might not be a moment of duh, assuming that you know what you're going to get and have a good, solid plan. Riverside County, California, 31-year-old Michael Machete, which, first of all, that's kind of a cool name.
That's a very cool name.
He sounds like he should be a superhero, Michael Machete.
I think it sounds like he should be a serial killer.
Oh, well, that too. Anyway, he filed a lawsuit against Bullseye Tattoo and the owners, charging the tattoo removal that he had on his neck had infected him with a flesh-eating disease.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's called necrosizing fasciitis.
Oh,
Yikes.
boy.
That does not sound good. He said he went for a removal because his coworkers complained about this obscene phrase that they had tattooed on his neck. He decided to replace the tattoo with what he thought was more appropriate, 666.
Oh, yeah, much
That's
better.
much better. Yeah.
What an idiot.
He should be good now. He should be good to go. Anyway, he's
then
31.
he had it coming, so what an
31.
idiot. You don't go in and do something like that.
No, probably not. So anyway, good luck to you on your. I wonder, it wouldn't be their fault if he didn't take care of the tattoo, because he's suing them for this infection.
Okay.
I believe it's his fault if he got infected.
Unless it was, because I've had many tattoos and I've never had an infection.
There you go.
And you
because
don't
you take care of them.
But there's really not a lot of taking care of them to a tattoo.
Well, if he left there and went and got it all dirty, and now he's going to complain.
If we don't know, I
I
mean,
don't know.
if they
Let's
used
just
a
move
dirty
on.
needle,
Could
or
be. I doubt it.
It's
but
hard to say.
We'll move on.
I mean, clearly, a guy getting a tattoo like that doesn't have the best judgment, so
Just
he
never know.
probably is the one at fault.
For all of you listening that have the tattoo 666, because I'm sure there's gobs of you. Okay, there's probably none. And if you do have that, you probably quit listening to us a long time ago. Coming up, we have your scoop of the day. That is on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. I think I read about this on the internet a while back, but now I've got a few more details. McDonald's in Japan is giving away an 18-karat gold chicken McNugget. Guess
Why
how
would you
much-
want? What on earth would you do with an
I don't know.
18-karat gold chicken nugget?
I think it's just a promotion to get people to eat their chicken McNuggets, because they're going to sneak it in with an order. So you'll be chomping away on your McNuggets, and one of them's going to be a solid gold McNugget, 18-karat
Do
gold.
they still give you the same
I hope
10-piece,
so.
or do they stick an 11th one in? Because
I hope
I'd be awfully upset if I was hungry and I got
You ever
one.
get a bonus McNugget accidentally?
No, I don't know. I don't honestly
do.
don't count them.
I do, because I know one time I got only 8 of them.
I
was
very
"There's gotta
rarely
be."
order the McNuggets.
I know.
Very rarely.
Our son always ordered them.
Yeah.
So, and I used to snag some from him. So, and I was like, oh, these are pretty good. Now
See,
that-
this is why neither of the kids like to sit by you when it's time to eat, because you always steal their food. And
Well,
I'm
I'm just
always
trying
the
to help
one
them
going, let them eat their food.
I'm just trying to help. That's all. Okay, let's move on. With summer here, we find that no matter how much people enjoy their vacation, most miss family and friends back home. According to research conducted by Travel Supermarket, pet owners in England confessed to missing their pet more than their family members while away from home for extended periods of time. So if you were gone for a long time,
really
would
sad.
you miss your dog more than your kids?
No, I
Nor
would
would
miss
I.
the dogs,
I'd miss
but
them.
I would not miss them more than.
No, I miss our children when we're gone because we've gone on vacations. It's been a long time.
It's been a very long time.
But, you know, when we have gone, I remember we went even just to Vegas for like a weekend one time for an event. And I missed the kids when we were gone. I honestly don't remember missing the dogs. I really don't. I didn't miss taking them out every day, I can tell you that. Someone recently brought a dead cat to an animal shelter on the island of Guernsey off the coast of Normandy. It wound up being a dog hand puppet.
What? What?
Yeah. They brought a cat that they said, hey, I found this dead cat. I'm not sure what to do with it. Turns out it was not a dead cat. It wasn't even a cat. It was a dog hand puppet.
Okay.
That person really doesn't know much
person
about
is
animals.
No.
Police and
I guess if they thought it was a flat cat that had been run over, they probably didn't inspect it too closely. They maybe picked it up with a shovel and threw it in a bag and didn't even
if
look.
that's the case, why would you take it to the animal shelter?
Well, yeah, I mean, you
Think
bury
they're gonna
it or
revive it or
throw it away.
Like, oh yeah, we can fix that.
We can fix that.
You can't. Just don't know what the plan was in the first place. Police in California arrested 5 men for stealing $4,700 worth of energy drinks. 4 adults were nabbed, 1 juvenile. They were carting out a bunch of Red Bull.
That stuff is nasty,
and we've
by the
read
way.
several stories where people are stealing that stuff around the country.
It's just really gross.
If
it
you
tastes
like
like
it,
medicine.
Well, see, and that's the thing. It's not for me, but I know the younger generation does like it. So it's interesting to me how many times now we've read like 4 or 5 stories about people stealing the stuff because it is pretty darn expensive. A man shot himself in the groin while he was trying to rob somebody. And again, we've read numerous stories about that. I'm a big fan of the Second Amendment. I think you should have the right to bear arms, but you should make sure you're smart enough to bear arms too.
Absolutely.
If you're trying to rob somebody with a gun, you already automatically disqualify because you're not smart enough to bear arms.
Right.
So he
But-
deserves shooting himself in the groin.
Unless you have already committed a crime, nobody should be able to tell you.
I'm not saying that he
cannot
couldn't
own
have it. I'm just saying
Right.
that he just lost his chance right there.
Well, absolutely. Now he should know. No, exactly.
Hey,
No,
if
I
you're
agree.
feeling cranky, here's some news to cheer you up. Being grouchy is good for your brain. Scientists in Australia found that an ill-tempered person tends to concentrate more on what's going on around them. They're more questioning of others, giving them better memories and sharpening their minds. In comparison, happy people are more likely to take mental shortcuts, might even be gullible, and result in less brain power.
I agree with this
smirking?
completely.
You're looking at me like I'm gullible.
You're very gullible.
I am not.
And I'm very cynical.
Yeah, you are.
I am. So I agree with this.
All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We have Tuesdays with Charlie. That is on the way.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
Well, it's Tuesday and it's hot, and I'm ready to go.
Well, there you go. You see, we got something going anyway. What kind of cool stuff we can learn about this week, Charlie?
Well, let's see. Who played Agent 007?
Well,
Well, there
were
have been a
several
lot
of
of them.
Sean
the
Connery.
original. Yeah, there you
Sean Connery.
go. You know that he wore a toupee through all of his performances as James Bond?
No kidding.
Really?
I was bald as I am.
No.
Not then, though. Was he at the
Must have
beginning?
been.
Wore a toupee on every one.
Well,
Well.
would you wear a toupee, Charlie?
No,
No interest. Have you ever tried that before?
no.
No. You look good without one, so you know not.
Bald is beautiful, baby.
Yeah, not everybody can pull that look off, but it's a good look for you.
That's what you get when you rub your head on the headboard all the time.
A lot of sleepless nights is what you're saying.
That too. Hey, then, did you know that men spend almost a year of their lives staring at women?
No kidding. I probably spend more than that.
I bet it's more than that.
My wife and I work together, and I'm staring at her all day long over here.
You know, I'm probably up to 4 or 5 years. So.
Yeah, I bet it's way more than 1 year.
Hey, then remember old Tiger Woods?
Oh, yeah, I remember him. Golfer.
Okay. After his affairs became public, men looking for discreet relationships on BeNaughty.com dropped 47%.
No kidding.
He ruined their website.
There was another site where it was designed for people cheating, and they went out of business. I'm glad they went out of business. You shouldn't be doing that. You know, if you want to have affairs, then you shouldn't be married.
That's
you know,
exactly right.
Maybe I'm old-fashioned and stuff, but I'm just saying, you know, it's pretty good rule, I think.
Here's a good statistic for you.
All right.
46% of women would give up getting laid for 2 weeks rather than logging off the internet for the same amount of time.
I bet Heidi would raise her hand on that one. I think she does that anyway. A couple of weeks. Do you have a calendar here somewhere?
I'd give it up for a chocolate donut.
I'm sorry, Charlie. What were you saying?
What's the most popular hot dog topping in the U.S.?
Mustard.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
and then
good.
You know that 7-Eleven sells the most hot dogs annually?
I wouldn't doubt that. Those guys sell a lot of hot dogs.
Over 100 million.
I like hot dogs. Well, I should say I liked them a lot more before my husband found this place that sells hot dogs in bulk, and now it seems like we're eating them every single
Well, it's just because they're so darn good. I'll go through this phase. It's just a phase. I'm getting to the end of this phase, too.
Hey, then I got one last thing here for you.
Okay.
Did you know? Now, this is for Paul Howitt. You know him.
Yeah.
He's a hot dog connoisseur of the world.
Oh, I didn't know that.
According to him, Costco's has the best hot dogs in the world.
Oh, he hasn't had the hot dogs from the hot dog store. We'll have to have him over.
I'm going to have to hook him up.
That's the name of it, the hot dogs?
That's
No,
what John calls it.
That's just what I call it. They sell other stuff. I just never buy that stuff.
Hot dogs. Oh, I know what store you're talking about.
It's good stuff.
About 900 of them for $3.
I think so. It's okay. They're good, cheap hot dogs. All right, you ready for your question, Charlie?
Whip it on me.
All right, this is one I did not know this. I even had to look it up to make sure it was true. But did you know there is a state with no natural lakes? What state would that be?
With no natural lake?
Yeah, no natural lakes in this entire state.
Vermont. Hell, I don't.
No, but you're not too far off, though. Maryland.
Oh, damn.
Maryland has no natural lakes.
Really? See, I would have guessed something more like more deserty.
No, they have lakes.
Huh.
Maryland, no natural lakes. Now we know.
Close.
I had to look it up because I didn't think that could be accurate, but apparently it is.
Well, see, not only do we learn a lot of stuff, this is very informative.
Isn't that the same thing? I could be wrong, but I think that's all the same thing.
That's awesome.
Well, that was informative, and I learned stuff.
There you go.
All right, Charlie. You have a good day. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, bye, Fluff.
Bye,
John.
Daddy.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can, and we learn stuff, too, while we're being informed. Right here on a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
Do you buy lottery tickets? Maybe you wait till the jackpot is big, then you buy one. I was like that too. Like my odds got better because the jackpot was more. Well, I think I found something that actually will give me a better chance to win. It's called Lotto-licious. I learned about this from Richard Lustig. He literally wrote the book on how to win the lottery, and he should know. He's a 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Richard plays and endorses Lotto-licious, and I just signed up too. I'd love it if you join Richard and I. You can play Powerball and Mega Millions without even going to the store. Sign up right now at RadioLottopool.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Denver, Colorado consumes less prune juice per capita than any other city in the United States.
Well,
Less prune juice in Denver. Fun fact for you, Heidi. The amount of concrete used to build the Hoover Dam is equal to that of paving a 4-foot wide footpath around the equator.
oh, that's
Go all the way around the
insane.
equator with a 4-foot wide footpath.
That's insane.
Or you could build one Hoover Dam, and we built the Hoover Dam. It is still drying, by the way. The concrete inside of that, there's still places where it's wet, believe it or not. All these years later. Fun
That's
fact
because
for
there's
you.
water on it. all the
No,
time.
it's because there's a chemical reaction when concrete dries, and it takes. And that's the largest cooling unit in the world too. I remember reading. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Illinois has the highest number of personalized plates in any state.
Really?
Yeah, more people there have personalized plates.
Everybody
than
in
any
our
other states.
family has personalized
Yes,
plates.
we do. See, but we don't live in Illinois.
We do not.
Fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
Residents of Houston, Texas leave the U.S. and eating out. They go out to eat 4.6 times per week.
Where is that?
Houston, Texas.
Huh.
We might beat them, too. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In Laredo, Texas, they are the U.S.'s furthest inland port.
Oh.
So the port there, and it's the furthest inland port in Laredo, Texas. Now you know. A couple of fun facts for you on a Tuesday.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Durango, Colorado police had to tell liquor store owner Gabby Fendakwe to give shoplifters the boot quite literally. Tired of losing what he says was about $1,000 worth of merchandise a month in thefts, Gabe took to telling shoplifters that he caught that he had two choices. Give me one of your shoes or I'm calling the police. A handful actually gave up a shoe, but Durango police told him to cut it out or face charges of felony robbery himself. Ironically, shoplifting from his store is only a misdemeanor, so he would be getting a felony charge, but the shoplifters
that's
would get...
insane.
Police Captain Mickey Browning said, I would suggest that he find a different option that doesn't involve giving up property. What's the difference between...
Then just call the police.
What's the difference between him saying, give me $20 and I won't call the police, or give me your shoe? Gabe was ordered to return the shoes to their owners if he could find them. He reluctantly agreed, but said, that's the whole point of it. They're too humiliated to come back and ask for their shoe. That also means they won't come back and steal from me again. So that was his plan, was I'm going to humiliate you so you will leave me alone and quit coming in here and stealing my stuff. Wow. And the cops are going, yeah, you can't do that.
This is something that I'm noticing here lately, is that the criminals have far more rights than the people that are following the laws, and it's really making me angry.
Well, and even this country, we have the right for peaceful protesting, but I was just watching online, peaceful protesting does not include blocking interstate systems.
No.
And breaking things and hurting people. That's not peaceful.
It's not peaceful at all.
And I just think it's really sad what's going on. And I just...
But you can't do anything about it because they have the rights and the rest of us do not. And it's just not... It's really sad what's happening to this country. It's really sad.
I think we all need to love each other. And I love you and you love me. And if we all loved each other, we wouldn't treat each other bad. And I think that's the answer. So just love each other. There you go. Coming up, got a story about a guy that I do love, Shaquille O'Neal. I love that guy, and I'm going to chat about him coming up in a second.
Hey, this is Tim from Hope and Faith Machine Works. Are you having one of these days?
How in the world am I going to do that?
Or even,
if I could just have this, my life would be so much easier.
Well, this kind of stuff is my specialty. At Hope and Faith Machine Works, we work with anyone who needs something built, fabricated, or just done right. We've done medical, industrial, PLC, and prototype designs. You can reach us at yourhopeourfaith.com. That's yourhopeourfaith.com.
I love Shaquille O'Neal. I think he would be a hoot to hang out with. I really do. He just seems like such a fun guy. Such a great sense of humor. For those of you who don't know who Shaquille O'Neal is, he's 7'1". He's a former basketball player and now an entertainer. He's got a podcast, which I've never listened to, but there was a program that made fun of it all the time, and I always thought, I should listen to it sometime to see if it's really as bad as they make it sound. But he also is known for taking roles in movies where he kind of maybe pokes fun of himself a little bit. Well, recently, he joined the team of Lyft. Have you ever heard of Lyft?
No.
Nor have I. But it's kind of like Uber, even though I've never ridden one of those. I've heard of that. Lyft is a company that'll pick you up and drive you somewhere, apparently.
Really? Okay.
Anyway, if you ever wonder what it would be like to get a ride from Shaquille O'Neal, wonder no more. You can watch a video, and I have it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. See what happens when Shaq tries to go undercover as a Lyft driver in Atlanta, and it is really funny. Turns out if you're 7'1" and one of the most famous entertainers in the world, people kind of know you, but he still was able to sneak it by a few. And
you know what, though? I would never in a million years expect for that person to be driving
Exactly.
So I would probably be fooled.
Yeah, you have to check it out. It's funny. It's at Facebook.com.
I might say something like, you look an awful lot like... I might say that, but I would never think, oh, hey, look, it's Shaq.
What are you doing driving a Lyft? Anyway, Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Well, here's something you don't see every day. A stray dog in Alabama managed to survive 12 days despite the fact that he had his head stuck in a pickle jar. He was trying to get some pickled pig's feet out and got his head stuck in the jar. Then he was running around for almost 2 weeks. The poor pooch went 12 days with no food or water.
Oh, my God.
A local vet said the dog only survived so long without water by getting moisture from the condensation and forming. The jar remained on his head for so long because nobody was able to catch him. Finally, after a community effort to help the scared and disoriented dog, police were able to catch him and remove the pickle jar. The dog's head was almost bald by the time he was finally freed from the plastic jar that he had stuck his head in for nearly 2 weeks.
Oh, poor little thing.
That answered my question because I was thinking, wouldn't it have broken by then? But it wasn't glass; it was plastic.
Oh, that is so sad.
Yeah, don't feed your dog pickled pig's feet out of a plastic pickle jar. Is more.
Well, I'm
this
assuming
story.
it was a homeless
little dog.
stray dog.
I don't know. All I know is there goes my plans for the night. That's how usually what I do with my dogs every evening is feed them pickled pig's feet out of a plastic jar.
It was probably stray and he found it in the garbage.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Coming up, we got some fun stuff to share. Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
The other day, we shared a thing on this program about how to know if you're on a bad date. We had the ladies' version, and then we had the men's version.
Yes.
I had some dating do's and don'ts sent to me after that because they thought that was pretty good stuff. So I love it when people share funny things, and I'll do my best to get it on the program. Doesn't always make it, but it does quite often. It says here, there are lots of ways to ruin a date. Here are a few things not to say if you're going on a date.
Okay.
I really don't like this restaurant that much, but I wanted to use this 2-for-1 coupon before it expired.
Yeah.
It's usually not a good way to start the date anyway.
Especially not a first date. I mean, if you've been together for a few months, that's a different story.
We've been married a long time. We've done that.
We would do that.
What are you in the mood for? I don't care what you're in the mood for.
I have a coupon.
We're going here. I got a coupon. It's gonna expire next week. Another one. I refuse to get cable. That's how they keep tabs on you. What?
Cable?
Apparently. Another thing to not say on your first date. I used to come here all the time with my ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend or ex-wife or ex-husband. Don't bring that stuff up. That's bad. Another thing that you don't want to say on a first date. I used to come here all the time with my mom. That's another one that maybe you just leave that, you know.
You know what? That if you grew up in that community and if your mother brought you someplace all the time you were a kid, that's just kind of like sharing a fun
if I
childhood
said that
memory.
to you on our first date, would you go, he is a mama's boy?
You were a mama's boy. You talked
not.
about your mom all the time.
No, I did not.
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Not that's a bad thing. I love your mother.
I do too. What you trying to say about my mama?
Nothing. I just said it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying I'm agreeing with this. That this would not have put me off from marrying somebody, clearly, because I'm with you.
Can we move on? Here's the next one. Things you don't want to say on a first date. I really feel I've grown a lot in the last few years. I mean, a couple of years ago, I would have never given somebody like you a second look.
Oh! Yeah, a date would have been over immediately.
Here's another one. And I won this trophy at in a belching contest.
Yeah, no thanks.
It's been tough, but I've come to accept that most people I date just won't be as smart as I am.
Oh.
And the last thing on the list. You know, some people say that I remind them of Eddie Haskell. That's usually not a good quality.
That's not a good quality.
That character was not supposed to be a beloved character.
Now, if you're trying to get out of a date purposely, most of these would probably be a very good
so if
way to
somebody
get...
sets you up and you're going, this is just not going to work out.
It's not going to work, yeah.
Then what happens if it does work out? And that's who they expect you to be.
It wouldn't work out, because if you didn't want it to work out, it wouldn't work out anyway.
Got some good news coming your way. That is coming up in a bit on the John and Heidi Show. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news. I think this is pretty cool. An Oklahoma teacher came up with a unique idea to remember her class. According to the Huffington Post, Charisse Castleberry taught first grade at Pat Henry Elementary in Lawton, Oklahoma for the past 5 years. She wanted something a little more hands-on to remember her students. So she went out and bought a white dress and some fabric markers and had her entire class draw all over the white dress as a keepsake so she'd never forget them. I'm hoping she wasn't wearing the dress.
That's
at
what
the
I was
time.
just going to say, because that could be
That'd
weird.
be a little awkward. Like, I was just drawing on my teacher's behind.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm assuming that she wasn't wearing it at the time, but I'm just assuming. If you'd like to know more, I do have a link at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. When I was a little kid, I remember we would do like class photos. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And it's fun.
Everybody
because,
line up on the steps.
Yeah, everybody stand over here and we're going to take a picture of you. It's kind of fun now to look back at those.
It is.
And see, because you're like, man, what an idiot. Why did I wear that? I knew we were going to have class photos that day. Why did I wear that shirt?
I was just going through pictures here not too long ago after we moved, and I found a whole bunch of my class photos from
I just think it's funny.
up.
And I remember growing up, like my senior year, we had like our senior photo that we had to take. We had to retake our senior photo. And I graduated early, so I was not in the official senior photo that they used.
My class was too big to take a senior photo.
Oh, we had a
like
big
the
class,
whole
too.
class.
Yeah,
we
but-
quit taking class photos in elementary school.
Yeah, they had everybody. The one that I was in, they went up like in the rafters of the arena, and they looked down, and they had us in a big group. And then I graduated in '94, so it spelled out 94. Like,
oh yeah, we didn't.
so
do
the whole
that.
floor was full except for where it said 94. But we were like little specks, and you couldn't really tell who anybody else. So then they took a different photo. Well, I had graduated at that point, so I was not in
It doesn't matter if you couldn't see anybody anyway.
Yeah, I wasn't in there. So, at our class reunion back in '04 or whenever that was. No, it would have been 2014. It wasn't that long ago. They had the picture. I was like, I don't remember that. And they're like, yeah, you're not even in this, are you? I'm like, yeah, apparently not. That's why I don't remember that. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.